My parents called my little brother a disgusting creep when they found wet and slimy clothes belonging to my sister in his room and kicked him out, so he came to live with me. They said sorry and had him go back when they figured out it was their dog's fault, but my brother isn't the same anymore. Posted by you/throwrakso. My brother is 15, my sister is 17, and I'm 23F. This is really stupid and it shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now I just want advice on how to make it better. Also, this is the story my brother told me, as I wasn't there. He was in his room playing on his phone, minding his own business. He got up to take out the trash. He came back to lie down in his bed. As he was lying down, he noticed their dog walking out of his room. He ignored it. Later on, my sister, 17, noticed clothes were missing. She went looking for them and found them in my brother's room. The problem was that they were wet and slimy. She immediately told our parents, and they thought the worst. My dad, mom, and brother argued about it. Rude things were said. Apparently, mom said, "I knew you were weird, but not this weird." My dad said, "I raised a predator." In the end, my parents asked me to pick him up and let him stay with me for a couple of days. When I picked him up, he didn't say anything and just sat in silence. He spent the entire time in the room he was staying in. He only came out for dinner. He skipped breakfast and lunch. His eyes were always red when he came out, so I assumed he was crying. I've never seen him cry. Most of the time when he's upset, he just has a stone face, so what they said must have gotten to him. Finally, at the end of the week, our parents called me and said they wanted to talk to him, so they came over. Before they came over, I tried to talk to him, but he ignored me. When our parents came, they apologized to him. Over the week, they had noticed more of my sister's clothes in his room until one day my dad caught the dog with my sister's clothes. My brother just said, "Okay," and went home. I tried to ask my parents if he could stay longer, but they said that wouldn't be necessary. Later on, I got a call asking me what he did while he was at my house, because he's just been in his room all day at their house. Is there anything I can do to help him feel better? Advice would be greatly appreciated. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Poor fellow. Your parents seriously attacked this kid, and to think they can just say "I'm sorry" and everything will be fine is mind-boggling. They destroyed any trust he had in them, and this will not be an easy fix. It appears they had their mind set before even accusing him, thanks to your other sister. Yeah, he probably doesn't have much use for her either right now. Your brother needs space and time to heal. Being at home and being made to interact with this right now is punishment, even though they are his parents and sister. If I were you, I'd tell my parents what they did was inexcusable. I'd talk to him one-on-one and see if he wanted to stay with you for a few weeks. He's 15, and being accused of creeping on his sister really put a dent in his self-esteem and self-worth. He needs time to heal. I would also tell him you are there for him no matter what. He will eventually seek affirmation that he's not the weirdo he was labeled. Be there for him. As for your parents, good grief, they need counseling, and your sister probably does too. They made their beds by striking him down so harshly, and now they'll have to deal with it for a while. It's tough being a 15-year-old kid without these accusations. He really got put behind the 8 ball with this situation. I hope the best for him. Ops response. If I were you, I'd tell my parents what they did was inexcusable. I did tell them that was effed up. They don't see it, though. They tried to pass it off as being upset in the moment, but I wasn't buying it. Talk to him one-on-one and see if he wanted to stay with you for a few weeks. Sadly, he's ignoring my calls and texts. I'm thinking about just driving to see him, though. And if he wants, he could stay with me for a while. I'm with him. I don't really know why they went all in on him. There has to be something larger happening if they can say all those things and not care how he feels. I don't know, but they do need some help too. Commenter 2. Does "I knew you were weird but not this weird" stick out to anyone else? I think the sister can be forgiven for her reaction, though she absolutely owes the brother an apology, but the parents need to be closely examined here for more than just in-the-moment crappy behavior. That single line is enough to fracture the relationship this kid has with his mother for life. To have your own mother say that about you is horrible. Op adds an edit to her post. Good news. He can stay with me until Sunday. I had to lie a little to my parents to get him to come. I told them he should get out of the house because he spends most of his day sitting in one spot with online school. They didn't believe me at first, but I said it would be a chance to get him out of his room. They finally agreed. He was about to go to sleep, so I came just in time. I think the plan right now is to just spend time with him this week. I'm broke, so it's gonna be mostly home stuff. I tried to talk to him on the car ride. I asked him if he's okay. He said he's fine, and we had a little conversation about his school. So at least he's talking now. He's in the spare room, so everything is okay right now. Update 1 week later. This is going to be the only update. It's long. So I've been asked to update the situation. Many of you guys asked that I let my brother live with me, but I had to take him back to our parents' house this morning. The last update I gave was when my brother was allowed to spend the week at my house. That was last Sunday. We spent the first day, Monday, at my house just talking. He spent most of the time in the room. At first, he wasn't responding back. It was going nowhere quickly. So I ended the conversation by telling him our parents were wrong and that he is not weird. I didn't say it exactly like this, but I hope you get the point. He just had a stone face, and we stopped talking. Tuesday, he still didn't really come out of the room. I offered to go to McDonald's, and he came out of the room to eat at the table. We just talked about random different things. He wasn't really interested in the conversation until we started talking about my Xbox. We eventually started talking about Madden. He started talking about how good he is at the game. We finished eating, then he went back to his room. Wednesday, I bought Madden. I don't play sports games. I play games like Cuphead or cartoon animated games. I asked if he wanted to play, and he agreed. I know this is serious, but Madden absolutely sucks. The game started cheating as soon as we started. The first thing my player did was fumble the ball. He was killing me at it. He actually laughed a couple of times, and he seemed to be enjoying himself. We spent a good portion of the day just playing. Thursday was pretty much the same as Wednesday, but he was talking more. I was going to go to the movies, but COVID is still a thing. We eventually just settled on watching Netflix. He spent half the day in his room, but he is coming out more. Friday, I decided to try to talk to him about the situation again. I pretty much told him I would talk to our parents to get them to understand why he was hurt by it. I also took the advice of seeing if he wanted to talk to a professional. He asked me not to ask them about it. He said it was just better if nobody brought it up again. I was a little shocked, but there's not much I could do. We then decided to go to a walking trail. At first, he didn't want to go, but I convinced him to come. We just spent more time talking. This also made me realize that I should talk to my siblings more often. He seemed happier. Saturday, or yesterday, was pretty much us just talking again. We decided instead of Madden to just play random games I had. I don't have a lot, but I think he had a good time. When it was dinner time, he got kinda quiet again. I asked him what was wrong. He said he wasn't ready to go back home yet. I didn't know what to say. I asked him if he wanted me to talk to our parents to see what we could do. He just said no again. I pretty much told him he could come to my house anytime he wanted to. That leads us to today. He is back at his house. I was going to talk to our parents, but I assumed he has a reason for not wanting me to talk to them. I know you guys said something about getting him a therapist, but he said no to the idea. I did call my sister to see how she's doing. She said she tried to apologize to my brother, but he ignored her. I don't know what's happening with that, but one thing at a time. And that's pretty much how the week went. Overall, he seemed much happier than he was last week. I texted him, and he wants to come back over sometime next week. This part has nothing to do with my brother, but it's about me. You don't have to read it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no idea what the F I'm doing. I'm only 23, still trying to get my life together. I'm a firefighter, so I'm just glad that we get a lot of vacation time, or else I would have had to work. I know people are thinking, if you're a firefighter, you should know what to do, and why did you ask what the signs of depression are? I was never trained on how to deal with somebody actively showing signs of depression. I was trained to help somebody who is in the process of trying to commit suicide, and that training wasn't that good. It was basically, try to talk them down and do whatever you can to get them to a hospital. I've yet to use this training. This is why I was panicking when everything was happening. People were telling me he could commit suicide. I know I should have kept a cool head, but it just felt different because it was family. They tell you not to panic, but I'm only human. I've been a firefighter for about 2 years now. Anyway, something else I wanted to say. I'm gonna try to be there for both my brother and sister, but I made mistakes too. Somebody brought up the point of when I found out what happened, what was my reaction? I'm ashamed to admit it, but I didn't have one. I thought he was gonna get over it and everything would be alright. I only started caring when I realized that he wasn't acting like his normal self. That's when I realized the impact of what they said and how effed up this all really is. So to the person who brought up this point, thank you. This showed me that no matter how great my actions are looking in front of random strangers, the truth is that I had a similar mindset as my parents. I don't think he's weird, but I guess my time spent around them made me desensitized to the things they say. I don't know. I'm gonna work to change that because it's not right. So did everybody. Thank you for the advice you've given. I see the mistake I've made, and I'm 100% behind changing myself and being there for my brother. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. You're a great sister, Op. I would try to invite him over more often instead of just extending one forever open invitation. It'll make him feel more wanted. Op's response. I'll definitely try to keep hanging out with him and invite him over more often. I'm also gonna try to hang out with my sister more. I'm gonna try to have a better relationship with both of them. Commenter 2. I have no idea what the F I'm doing. Sounds like you do to me. You care about your bro. That's all that needs to be done. Have you thought about introducing your brother to your pals at the station, maybe give him a tour? Op's response. When I graduated fire school, we had a family day. We brought our family to where we did our training for fire school, so they all know my brother, sister, and parents. Commenter 3. Whoa, a firefighter at 23? Isn't it hard to get in? Op's response. Not really. I know an 18-year-old in fire school right now. If you apply to the right county, almost everybody gets in. However, out of a class of 100, you'll notice only about 10 to 15 people will pass the entire thing.